Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in my last video I showed how I override API response. Now let me show you what I actually test with them, because as a front-end developer the happy path is easy, but the real problem start when the API behaves differently. So first of all, let me show you how I'm fetching this to-do list. When I click on this load to-dos, I am calling this fake API which will fetch all the to-do list items. So let me show you first how I override the content. So just click on that override content. So for example, I want to update this response. I'll say updated response for video. So now if I click on load tools, so now here if you see, I click on load tools. So I'm not seeing that updated response. So let me try it again. Click on override content. So I'll do updated data for YouTube video. I just save it. I'll click on network tab again. I click on load tools. I'll see the response. If you see, response came updated data for YouTube video. So this is very helpful to update the API response. So now I'll show you, once the API is ready, what are all the scenario we need to handle. So first of all, I'll show you how I am calling this API. So on clicking on this button, I am calling this handle load to do function. Inside that I have written the code in get to do function. Here is my API call. So here if you see, I am handling the null scenario, not response scenario. If the API is throwing any errors, that scenario needs to handle very quickly or very efficiently. So I'll see what my API is giving as a response. I can add a console here. So I'll see, this is very easy and helpful debugging uh, thing. You can add console and check the response. If you see, our response is okay, true. Or here I can add one more check. If response dot status is 200, then go to this block. So here I have handled the failed scenario as well as 200 okay scenario as well. So if you see, data is coming. So let's test the failure scenario. What I'll do, we can block the API call from here. Block request URL. Now if I click on load tools, if you see, this is blocked. Okay. So now if you see load tools, break. Click load tools, nothing happened. So on failure case, what I want a alert. So it's not giving. So what I'll do, I'll make a return statement here. Nothing happened. So response dot okay. So I'll see whether the my code is going in this line of code or not. So here I'll help you to debug the code as well as. So what we can do for debugging is, we can go to sources, we will find our file. My file name is api.js. I'll set the debugger here. If you see, my code is not getting saved, still old code is there. So what I'll do, I'll refresh this first. So now I'll see, it's still not saved. It's giving some error. unblock it. I'll see whether my code is going here or not. It's going, but it's not adding. Oh, why it's not going? Because I override the content of my API. So what I'll do, I'll just show all override. I'll just delete it. Now if you see, now code should go here. No, still it's not going. So now if you see, now the code is going here. Actually this is not the correct point. My to-do list is here. Okay, so I'll click on load tools. If you see, response is there. Now we want to test the failure scenario, right? So I'll go to network again, to-dos, I'll block this. Now I'll go to sources again. I'll see now the debugger should come into this if block. Load to do. Still it's not going. Even it's not going after this line. So what we can do, one more thing is we can add try catch. That is also a must thing to have in a function. So now we'll see whether it's going into catch block or not. If you see, now it's going into catch block and error is also there, failed to fetch the to do. So this is how we can debug our application.